Ford Motor Company Q3 sales are up 16% as compared to Q3 in 2021. That is great news for the Detroit automaker. Ford is in the midst of making the transition to a product line that includes electric vehicles by 2030. The transition is not easy, especially for legacy automakers. This comes as Ford continues as a leading seller of gas-powered pickup trucks in the US. What does this mean for the future of the car industry? And what does this mean for the future of the United States? But before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Ford Motor Company announced on Tuesday said its Q3 sales increased 16%. That increase is as compared to Q3 of 2021. And it is despite the fact that sales declined in September due to supply chain disruptions. Ford reports sales monthly and said that it sold 142,644 vehicles in September. That is down 8.9% from September of 2021. But Ford missed Wall Street expectations because of the unexpected sales drop in September. Wall Street analysts were forecasting a 19% sales increase and 17.8% earnings increase. Nevertheless, this is good news for Ford, whose shares rose 7% on the news. Crosstown rival General Motors shares also rose by 7%. New vehicle demand remains strong with retail orders rapidly expanding, according to Andrew Frick, Ford Vice President of Sales, Distribution and Trucks. This strength in demand comes as the Federal Reserve is aggressively raising interest rates. And as the United States is teetering on the brink of a recession. Ford sales showed extraordinary strength in a generally strong quarter for the automotive industry. Earlier this year, Wall Street analysts expected new vehicle sales to be down 1% as compared to 2021. Automakers have not yet put the various supply chain issues behind them. There are still supply issues with many parts, including semiconductor chips. But also wire harnesses and several smaller parts, such as brand logo stickers. Based on continuing supply chain issues, Wall Street analysts are expecting full-year sales to decline to 13.7 million overall. And that is 9% below 2021 levels and lower than new vehicle sales have been in 10 years. Ford seems to be bucking that trend so far this year. And Wall Street could be underestimating the strength of the US economy and employment. Even if supply chain issues cause temporary disruptions, they do not reduce overall demand. Ford warned of parts shortages last month. That announcement shocked Wall Street and shares of Ford plunged on the news. Those temporary shortages delayed the shipment of about 45,000 vehicles. And these vehicles were mostly high-priced pickup trucks and sport utility vehicles. Ford also noted that it will take an unexpected $1 billion charge related to supplier costs. This hurt Ford's financials for Q3, and Ford stock has not fully recovered from this news. Despite the overall sales increase, sales of the ultra-profitable F-Series pickups were reduced by 27%. That was also a shock to Wall Street, and it is something of a red flag for the company. The F-Series pickup truck line has been the primary driver of Ford sales for years, if not decades. Weakness in pickups could signal overall weakness for Ford in the long run. But the new F-150 Lightning pickup is a very hot item for Ford. Ford sold 8,760 units of the F-150 Lightning pickup, which is very profitable and high-priced. Sales of the F-150 Lightning pickup have shocked the car industry. The entire world seems to have underestimated demand for a good electric pickup. Overall, Ford sold over 41,000 electric vehicles so far in 2022. That is a very impressive number compared to other legacy automakers, but still well short of Tesla sales. Most of the electric vehicles sold by Ford in 2022 are Mustang Mach-E crossover vehicles. Sales of the Mustang Mach-E crossover vehicle are up 49% as compared to 2021. They have now reached 28,000 units, which is very impressive. Overall, Ford sold 1.38 million vehicles so far in 2022. Crosstown rival General Motors vehicle sales for Q3 increased by 24% compared to a year ago. Auto production in recent years has been beset by supply chain issues that have held up vehicle production. Those issues also weighed heavily on General Motors' quarterly financials. That is an increase from about 447,000 for the same period in 2021. Sales in 2021 were impacted by semiconductor supply chain issues, mostly in Malaysia. Wall Street analysts were expecting a 21.6% increase over last year. So, this production report beat Wall Street expectations. General Motors also reiterated plans to increase production of its Chevrolet Bolt EV and EUV. Q3 was General Motors' best quarter ever for selling these two flagship electric models. GM sold 14,709 units of Chevy Bolt EV and EUV models combined in Q3. The company also reiterated forward guidance of 44,000 electric vehicles in 2022 and over 70,000 in 2023. So far, the company has sold 782 Hummer EV pickups. Hummer electric pickups are priced at over $100,000 each. General Motors reported 2022 sales of over $1.65 billion. This is down 7.1% as compared to the first 3 quarters of 2021. GM ended the third quarter with 359,292 vehicles in dealer inventory. Q3 just ended and GM is the first major carmaker to report sales and financials. Wall Street analysts estimate carmakers sold 3.4 million new light-duty vehicles in the United States, which is 1% less than in 2021. The supply chain issues that have plagued automakers have still not been fully resolved. In earlier press releases, CEO Mary Barra has announced that the company will transition to an all-electric product line. "This is our big opportunity to get a massive adoption," said Scott Bell, Global Vice President of Chevrolet. "This is a game changer for us and for the industry," continued Bell. "We can absolutely catch and surpass industry leader Tesla in U.S. sales of electric vehicles by 2025, said CEO Mary Barra. Those plans include more than 1 million units of EV production capacity in China and North America, each, by that time, Barra also noted. The $30,000 entry price of the Equinox EV compares to $66,000 for the Tesla Model Y. And it compares to $35,300 for gas-powered crossover vehicles in the same category. An electric Equinox is important to GM because it is a high-volume model in the most popular segment in the industry, said executive analyst Michelle Krebs. "We know from our studies that price of EVs is the #1 obstacle to EV adoption with range and charging infrastructure falling," continued Krebs. "Affordable EVs are critical to proliferating EVs," Krebs also noted. This announcement comes as the average price of a new car purchase in the United States has now reached $48,000. That is up from $39,000 just 2 years ago. The price of new cars and trucks rose % in 2022, according to a report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Car prices have skyrocketed in the last 2 years. 980,400 new cars were sold in the United States in August. That is a 2.6% decrease from this time last year. The Federal Reserve started a series of steep interest rate hikes earlier this year because of high inflation. So far as yet to have a sizable impact on the auto industry. But, what do you think? Have we seen the end of affordable cars? Will the shrinking wealth of the middle class make cars unaffordable? Or, will electric cars become the new affordable cars? Please press the like button and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.